going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Forgotten Race Review. Today, again at the request of Ferret Family, which is really adorable, we're covering another template. This time it's a much more iconic one of my very favorites. My very first character ever that I rolled was this template, and he is the inspiration for the name of this very channel. Today, it's all about the Half-Dragon template. If you guys have any requests, obviously, as always, throw them in the comments. We'll get right on them. Before we get underway, as you all know, this channel is directly supported on Patreon. Today's episode of the Forgotten Race Review was brought to you in part by Lord Minot. My friend, as always, thanks so much for your time and support. Now let's get to it. Alright, so all over fiction, on planet Earth, the son or daughter of a dragon, people with draconic ancestry, draconic bloodlines, it's a super popular thing. We can even trace this all the way back to Count Dracula. Dracula, of course, in Slavic means the son of Dracul, or of the dragon. It's a huge thing. In Pathfinder, the Half-Dragon template has been with us forever and ever and ever since the days of old school D&D, and it directly indicates whatever it is we're talking about is the offspring of a true dragon. The creation of a half-dragon is somewhat rare. Most of the time, the half-dragons you see are the results of strange magical experiments in Pathfinder, contrary to what the party's bard might say. Though in some cases, a successful breeding can be possible. For example, a dragon and a basilisk together make a dracolisk. I think most of the time, and this may be like to balance things out in certain settings, when a dragon in Pathfinder breeds with, say, a human, you'll have a draconic-blooded sorcerer, blood rager, etc., rather than just, oh, okay, you're a half-dragon, hooray! But don't tell that to Donkey and his adorable babies. I'm not gonna lie, this template is pretty powerful. It's definitely one of my favorites, both for a character and for things in the world that you might want to buff up real quick, because, I mean, that's 50% of the name of the game, right? Dragons, there they are, we've got them here. To dive right into it, Half-Dragon is an inherited or acquired template that can be added to any living, corporeal creature, referred to hereafter as the base creature. It retains all the base creature's statistics and special abilities, except for the following. A Half-Dragon's CR increases by +2 to a minimum of 3. The creature's type changes to dragon. We don't recalculate hit dice, base attack, or saving throws, but of course the immunity to magic, sleep, and paralysis, as well as the dark vision and low light vision, seems pretty good. A creature with the half-dragon template has its armor class increased by 4, and in addition to the immunities we just talked about, you also receive immunity to the energy of your breath weapon. A half-dragon, of course, has wings. Unless the base creature has a better fly speed, the half-dragon can fly at twice the creature's base speed, with average maneuverability, so all you monks out there that might want to become half-dragons, there you go. You still retain that fast movement buff. Super powerful. In addition, a half-dragon has 2 claw attacks and a bite attack. If the base creature can use manufactured weapons, the half-dragon can as well. A new claw or bite attack deals damage as appropriate for the half-dragon's size. So a medium creature's bite would do 1d6 damage, those 2 claws would do 1d4. Of course, the half-dragon template does not strip away any special attacks of the base creature, but also, you get a breath weapon, usable once per day, based on the variety of dragon. The breath weapon deals 1d6 points of damage per racial hit die possessed by the half-dragon. The reflex DC is 10, plus half the creature's racial hit die, plus the creature's con. Of course, if you're like a human fighter, we use our class levels to determine that. There's a table immediately after that shows the lines and cones and damages and stuff that come out. By and large, I think we can accept a 60-foot line of energy or a 30-foot cone, but it's important to note that as this template's come out, and even like farther forward in the history of Pathfinder, though of course first edition is seeing the twilight of its years, third-party content's going to keep coming out. And in addition, there's been so many dragons released in the various bestiaries. Everything from dragons that live in heaven or hell, dragons that live in space, or hey, if you're feeling super Bulbasaur, and who isn't, you could use an Imperial Forest Dragon for this template, and not only would you breath weapon Razor Leaf, that's super sweet, also, you'd become immune to piercing damage. In addition to all this craziness, a half-dragon sees its base stats increased as follows. Strength +8, Constitution +6, Intelligence +2, Charisma +2, and if a half-dragon has racial hit dice, so if we're applying this to like our dog, not us, The half-dragon has skill points per racial hit die equal to 6 plus intelligence. So yeah, like I said, I have definitely played this template both as a GM throwing it at people and as my very first character who actually I'm getting ready to play in, they call it 3.P. So the Dragon Disciple Prestige class turns me into this, essentially with a little bit of like Pathfinder extra feats and better feats and stuff. An elf sorcerer with a black dragon father, his name is Mahariel. I think he's going to be a magus this time because, you know, the power of Shocking Grasp compels you. Nevertheless, it's super fun, it's super powerful, and the first time I got to play it, I was pretty much just a GM PC because, well, to be honest, nobody else in that group wanted to GM, but we're not here to talk about that. It's a really powerful, really flavorful thing, and again, Pathfinder has so many different types of dragons that you can pull from, which makes the possibilities truly endless for the GM who wants to spice up his encounters, and for the player characters out there, it lets you tell a story that's probably the most popular fantasy trope ever, or pretty close anyway, using that dragon high fantasy magic to buff your character out pretty much with whatever flavor you want. We've got the chromatic dragons, we've got the metallic dragons, we've got the primal dragons that are made of cloud and crystal and magma and stuff, which is super sweet. We've got the imperial dragons, we've got the esoteric dragons, dragons that live in nightmares and are ghosts, dragons that live in space, the outer dragons, the planar dragons, and I was really hoping we'd see more of those before the end of 1E, because right now it's just Heaven, Elysium, the Boneyard, Hell, and the Abyss that are represented. We're missing 4. Paizo, please, make sure those come out. And I'm sure I'm missing other dragon types out there somewhere, in addition to even, like, third-party stuff.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Now, I will note, before we close out, that this template is particularly powerful. It really is. And while I'm definitely okay still with templates in a lot of games, especially if you have a bunch of characters who would like to gestalt, but there's some people at the table who just don't want to have to do that math, slap a template on them. The CR comes out the same, give or take. The Dragon Disciple Prestige class is a thing. It's very classic. And though it's not nearly as good as it used to be, it eventually nets you dragon form twice a day, which lets you, you know, turn into a dragon. What more do you want? Anywho, that's all we have for today. What do you guys think about the half-dragon template? Have you ever played a half-dragon in a campaign as a player, or maybe spiced up something like, oh, I don't know, imperial foo creatures that were just humans with monk levels guarding a temple of Apsu, best god, appearing as just statues made out of gold standing in monk poses, but were actually half-dragon imperial foo creatures that would jump off the statues and attack with punches and quarterstaves and stuff in your games? And that was long-winded. Do you think we'll see any half-dragons or any templates like this, maybe on, like, class feats, wouldn't that be cool, in Doomsday Dawn? Because if so, hey, it's Monday. That means you have, like, 8 hours to follow this card right up here if you want to play some Pathfinder 2nd Edition on this channel. Remember, patronage at any tier grants you a second entry, and if we can get Patreon to about $300 a month, I'll take a second group through. Anywho, that's all we got for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. We're going to veer away from the request line. Yeah, I know, I'm the worst. For the next 3 videos in this series, because the last hardcover Pathfinder book is upon us, Planar Adventures, and it brings with it 3 races. One of them's a reprint, 2 of them are brand spanking new. We're going to cover one of the new ones next week, specifically the Dusk Walker. It drops next Monday.